Okay, insurance 101 call. Sorry, guys. So the purpose of the call, again, to get to 20,000 a month, 5,000 a week consistently. And then what's this call about? Learning, growing, starting from the basics, right? Learning how to posture yourself on the phones, how to get the client excited about what they already want, what they filled out the form for, right? Okay, who is this call for? This call is for basically new people. If you're not doing 20,000 a month in annual premium, okay, this call is for you. You must get on this call, okay, because that's the whole purpose of this call. So for the first 30 minutes, we're going to talk about sales. The second 30 minutes, we're going to do some role plays. Okay, we're going to dive deep down into role plays. I'm going to pick one of you guys. I'll do a role play first. Then I'll be the agent. The other person will be the client. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, after the call, after the role play, we're going to do one good critique, something that they did great about the call. And then right after that, we're going to do something that they need help on. Okay. And then we're going to reverse it. The person that is the agent is going to become the client. And then the person that is the client is going to become the agent, and we're going to do it backwards. We're going to do a role play then. Then we're going to do the same thing. One good thing, and then one thing that they need help on, okay? Then if you raise your hand, if you guys want to do a role play, we'll set you guys up as well. Somebody can be the client, somebody can be the agent, and you guys can do the role play, and then we'll do the same thing. One positive remark, and then one remark that they can receive a little bit of growth on. Okay, so this call is about you guys. So the more you guys listen up, the more you guys intertwine in this call, the better you're going to get. The whole purpose of this call is to make you guys better and to make you guys more consistent. Okay.
Hey, Sean, can I jump in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
Just wanted to say, Josh Lockhart here. Really want to say appreciate you putting this on. You know, for those that don't know, I mean, you hit Hall of Fame last year. Not only that, I mean, I've seen you personally do months where you did 50, 60, 70 families in a month. And if anybody has not seen, you know, Sean is one of the people that sells consistent, probably has the highest average ticket, highest average premium out of anybody, you know, on the team. So this guy is somebody who knows sales. He's built big businesses inside and outside of FFL. So just wanted you to know, because he's not going to say that about himself. Like, this is somebody who you'd want to learn from, no matter if you're in Family First Life or not. And the other thing, you know, is if you're here, if you took the time to actually be here, this business, I mean, it's hands-on, right? You can't study and read out of a book and get good with this, because it's all about interaction with people. So if you're here, go ahead, turn your camera on, like turn it on, be here, lean forward, because it's going to be super weird if Sean's like, hey, yo, so-and-so, and your camera's off and you're just not there. And if you're like not there and you're checked out, like, cool, like grab it next week. It's not a big deal. This is for you and your business. It's not for us to just talk at some screens. So like, turn it on, be here. Sean, back to you.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Actually, what I was going to do, that kind of segues me into the next thing that I want to talk about. A lot of you guys don't know me, so I wanted to kind of talk a bit about myself. Like Josh says, I don't like to talk about myself, but I do want you guys to know where I'm coming from here. I felt like this would be a good call for new people. And the reason why is I have almost about 30 years of sales experience. And so I figured if I were to bring a little bit of that knowledge to a call like this, I can maybe help one person a call, right? And if I can help one person, hopefully I help more than that. But if I can give one of you guys just a few nuggets that'll help you for the rest of your life to become better, to help more families, it makes it all worth it to me. So when did I start in sales? I started in 1996. I went door to door selling steaks, chicken, and seafood for 16 years. And I did that through about 17 states in the United States. From there, I got it. I got in a car wreck. I couldn't sell door to door anymore. I went to Sears and sold windows, doors, siding, heating, and air conditioning. I learned how to the goods and the bads of the construction part of it. And then I started selling real estate. I started selling people on selling me their houses. Then I would fix up my own houses and then sell them myself as well. Then, of course, I got into this business. So I got about 27 years of experience in sales. So the whole purpose of this call is to help you guys, okay? So that being said, the first two things that I want to talk to you about today, and then we'll get into role playing here. The first thing that is the most important thing to talk about is mindset, okay? Mindset is the biggest thing, because here's the reality. If you guys don't believe that you can do this, if you don't believe that you can hit Hall of Fame, if you don't believe that you can change your life and change your family, then there's no point in even being here. That's step one. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have the confidence in order to get on the phones and talk to people, right? You have to, and it all starts with a dream, okay? When you, obviously, we're not where we want to be, right? Otherwise, we'd all be multimillionaires, even some of us billionaires, and we'd still be working, right? But we'd be working because we want to. What we're doing right now is we're working because we have to, right? And helping families is one of the best things. It's one of the noblest things to do in this business. That's why this business is one of the most noblest businesses in the world, is because we're helping families and we get paid to do it, right? But the reality of it is you have to believe that you're going somewhere. And so it starts with a dream, right? And what we have to do, write this down, is touch our dream. Not necessarily every single day, but at least a few times a month, right? One of the things that I wanted to do in my life was I wanted to drive a brand new vehicle. Okay, I've never had a brand new vehicle before. I love trucks. So what did I do? I touched my dream. Every now and again, I would go out, and this is free, by the way. I would go out and I would test drive a brand new vehicle, a brand new truck, right? And every single time I did that, I touched my dream. Then a week later, or 2 weeks later, a month later, I would think about that and I'd say, you know what? I'm going to go test drive a new Ram, right? What's the new Ram that they have? The one with the big motor, a TRX. My son loves those trucks. They're a $110,000 truck with a fast motor. I wanted to drive that truck just to see and feel what it's like, smell the leather, right? Because I wanted that. Now, right now, I drive a brand new, well, it was brand new at the time, brand new 2021 Platinum Ford F-150. Is that by design? Yeah, because I dreamed it. I thought about that. Ed Milet talks about a time where he went and he's a multimillionaire. He runs a podcast right now, if you guys don't know who he is, but if you don't, Google him, Ed Milet, and listen to his podcast. It's very motivating. He's a very humble guy. And he said a few times when he was younger, he didn't have millions of dollars, came from a lower life, right? What he would do to touch his dream is he'd say, he was in sales. He'd say, okay, I sell about 7,000 a month. And what I'm going to do is set an incentive for myself. If I sell 12,000 this month, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go stay at the Ritz-Carlton. And so he did. Him and his wife stayed at the Ritz-Carlton. They spent a little bit of extra money, but when he got there, he said he pulled up in it was like a Nissan 3, I don't even remember what it was. It was like a not so nice car, right? He pulls up to the valet and the valet parks the car. He was like so embarrassed to pull up there, and he parks the car. And he's like, okay, I know I'm supposed to give the valet a tip, but I don't even know if I give him at the tip at the beginning or at the end. He didn't even know, right? And then he goes back to grab his bags, and the valet grabs his bags and says, sir, I got your bags. And he's like, that felt uncomfortable to me. And the reason why it felt uncomfortable to him is because it's not normal. right? If we want to hit our dreams, we have to make them normal. In order to make them normal, we have to touch our dream every once in a while. He said a few months later, he did the same thing. He went back. He hit his incentive that he gave himself, and then he went back. And the next time he went back, he laid on the beach and he was like, you know what? Now I know, where the towels are. Now I know that I can tip my valet guy at the end. Now I know what the hotel room is like. And instead of staying on the garden floor, he got an ocean view. And he said the first time he got an ocean view room, he wasn't even able to sleep because he wasn't used to the sound, right? But the second time he went back, the third time he went back, he was able to listen to the sound, and it felt awesome. It felt normal to him, right? And so if we want to hit our dreams, we have to make that normal to us. And so by doing that, we have to touch our dreams. The first time the first time that he started doing that, he mentioned that he went into some of the nicer neighborhoods, places that he wanted to live in, and he just drove around the neighborhood looking at the houses, imagining himself and his family in the houses. What would it look like? What would it smell like? What would his family be doing in there on their days off, right? He created the dream for himself. Joe Montana said one time, Joe Montana was an awesome quarterback for the 49ers. He said one time he always knew that he would be in the Super Bowl. And the reason why he knew that was because he'd envision himself, he'd lay in bed, he'd throw the football up in the air and he'd catch it. Throw the football up in the air and he'd catch it. And every time he threw the football up in the air, he envisioned himself throwing a long pass to the wide receiver and that receiver going in for the touchdown and him being in the Super Bowl, the lights going crazy, the crowd going crazy. And so he envisioned all of that stuff, okay? So if you want to become more, it all starts with mindset. It all starts with dreams, right? Where do you want to be in 20 years from now? When you're 65 years old, how old is your kids going to be? What house are you going to live in? Where are you going to live? Are you going to own more than one house? Are you going to have a house in Colorado in the mountains? Or are you going to have another house in Cancun, Mexico on the beach? Where are you going to live? How much money are you going to make? What type of a team are you going to have in FFL? How are you going to get that team? How are you going to talk to people? What are you going to do? This is all the process that you have to think in order to get to your dream, right? And you start from the end and then work backwards. Okay, start to where you want to be, the destination. When you're 65 years old, you can even start from when you're dead. What does your gravestone want to read? Best person, best mom, best whoever, right? And work it backwards. Work it backwards to today. And then set some goals for yourself, right? Set some goals for yourself. Set some goals for yourself by the end of the year. We're halfway through the year right now. So you got 6 months left in this year. Okay. If you have a 5-year goal, start from there. Where do we want to be in 5 years? And then work it back. In the next 6 months, what am I going to do to get me to my 5-year goal? Then what am I going to do in the next quarter to get me to my end of the year goal? We got 2 quarters left. Then break it down from there. Over the next quarter, what are we going to do in the next quarter this month? Right now, we're at June 15th, so we got 2 weeks left in this month. What are we going to do in the next 2 weeks to get us one step closer to our quarterly goal? That's then going to get us to our end of the year goal, right? What I like to do at the very beginning of the year, I suggest you guys do it right now for the next 6 months. But at the very beginning of the year, I'll write 10 things down that I want to achieve at the very end of this year. And then I'll pick the top 5, right? And then I'll take 3 of those and I'll work on 3 of those per quarter. So we have a quarter, we're in the middle of a quarter right now, right? And so when you pick 3 of those things, pick one of them that you're going to do right now till the end of this month. You're going to make sure that it happens. You're not going to think about it. You're going to know it. Okay. Build it in your mind to where you believe that you can do it, to where you know that you can do it. No matter what, you're going to make it happen. Okay. And then go to work. Okay. That's where it all starts, right there with mindset. Okay. The other thing that we need to talk about on mindset is personal development. Sometimes people hear the word personal development and they're like, oh man, not this guy, personal development. I got to do that. Nobody likes to hear personal development, but I'm telling you, personal development changed my life. Okay. If you're driving down the road, how many times are we in a car? We're in a car probably, I don't know. I'm in a car maybe an hour a day, and I don't drive that much. I mean, I go to the gym. Sometimes I'll run some errands with my wife. But when I'm in the car, I turn it into automobile university, right? Meaning I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to a book on Audible. The most important investment that you could ever have is in yourself. If you read a book, Audible, you can buy a subscription for $16 a month. That's it, $16 a month. And you get 1 free book. You get a credit every single month. If you don't buy that book, if you don't use that credit that month, it rolls over. It rolls over till you get 10 credits. That's one of the cheapest, most important investments that you could ever have. When you're in the car, when you're in the vehicle, listen to a book. Listen to something positive going in your mind. We are filled throughout the day with negativity, with people yelling and screaming, this going wrong, that going wrong, this not happening right. The plan changes, right? We have plans set up and all of a sudden they change. The positivity that goes into your mind from books, from positive podcasts, from people shoving good stuff down your brain will change your life. Okay? Where you are today is because of the choices that you made in the past. Everything that you chose to do in the past has led you up to today, right now, this moment. But guess what? You can't change the past, but you can change the future. You can become a better person. You can become a better family member, husband, wife, uncle, aunt, father, grandfather, grandmother, mother, right? You guys can all become better, and you can become better at helping families. That's what this call is about, right? But it all starts with mindset. Okay. So podcasts, listen to books. There's a great book by, his last name is Sandler. I can't remember his first name. This is a sales book. It doesn't even sound like a sales book. The name of this book is not even a salesy name. I don't even know how he sells it, but it's one of the, I've read a lot of books over my years, and it's one of the best books I've ever read. And he lays it all out. It's called Never Teach a Kid to Ride a Bike at a Seminar. It's about sales. It's about how the sales process works. The last guy is Sandler. Last name is Sandler. I can't remember his first name, but buy that book. Listen to it on Audible. Usually Audible will give you a free trial, and sometimes the first book is free. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about real quick before we get into role play is schedule. This is going to be the most important thing that is the most valuable thing that you have for your business other than mindset, right? Because you can have the best schedule in the world, but if you don't believe you're going to do this, nothing else matters, right? So this would be like the second best thing, okay? How many people here have come from a 9-to-5 job or has worked a 9-to-5 job in their life? Raise your hand. Yeah. Most everybody, right? When I was 16, I worked a 9-to-5 job. Everybody works a 9-to-5 job sometime in their life, okay? When you go to work, if you're late, does the boss say, hey, you're late, don't be late anymore? Yeah, they do, right? And if you're late a few times, they'll give you a mark or whatever they do, And if you're late more than a few times, you lose your job. And that pays you per hour, right? But what we see, the reason why people fail in this business is because of schedule. That's the reason why. Because the reality of it is if you put in massive, imperfect action, you can only succeed. Okay. And how do you do that? Well, we all have lives. We all have families. We all have problems, right? We all have problems, every single one of us. But there's a reason why Grady Polson's an integrity partner, right? He started exactly the same way you did, the same way I did, the same way Josh Lockhart did, right? Zach Twardowski, he's an integrity partner, youngest integrity partner ever to become an integrity partner. 25 years old he is right now. And he started the same way, didn't even know anything about life insurance. But he's got problems. He's got a family. Everybody has a family and has problems, right? But we have to make our priority our goals first, because those problems are still going to be there and our family is still going to be there, right? So the question is, how fast do you want to get to your goal? When you first start off, the fastest way to get there is to get to 100 presentations, whether that's in-home or on telesales, that's totally up to you. But the fastest way to get through the objection, get through the hurdles, is to get to 100 presentations. When I started, somebody told me that. I knew when I first started, I came from real estate. I was working, buying houses, talking to sellers, talking to buyers. I had everything going on, but I saw this opportunity, and integrity intrigued me. And I thought, if I bust my butt for 5 years, what will that look like? And somebody told me, look, man, it's like drinking water from a fire hose of the first 90 days, but the faster you get to 100 presentations, you're going to know pretty much everything that they're going to throw at you. And I said, okay, done. I'm going to get to 100 presentations. So I first started off thinking I'm going into this business and I'll work 6 hours a day, right? And I'm just going to transition. And finally, within a short amount of time, within about 3 to 4 weeks, I finally figured out that, oh, well, this business is pretty easy. Most importantly, I felt so darn good when I helped a family. It wasn't even funny. I literally, when I went in home and I got that person approved, I'm getting them right now. I get goosebumps because I helped that family be financially protected. And I still get goosebumps every time I protect a family, right? But we have to go through 100 presentations in order to hear everything. And so when I first started off, I wanted to work 6 hours, but I soon realized that, look, if I just put in more work, if I put in more hours, I'm going to learn faster. I'm going to be able to overcome these objections faster. I'm going to learn pretty much the 10 rebuttals that everybody uses, right? And when you learn those 10 rebuttals that everybody uses, you have a higher chance of helping that family, right? This is sales. We buy leads, right? They're not called sales. They're called leads for a reason, because they filled out the form. They're not buying an insurance policy. That's your job to sell them. This is reality here, right? And that's what this call is about. Okay. We're all gonna get better, and we're all gonna grow, because we all want to achieve the same thing. We want to help more families, right? That's the basic part of it. Okay. So scheduling, the way I do it, the mind works on a 2-hour, there's a book called Deep Work. It's pretty raw. I can't remember the guy's name. I have a hard time with authors, but the book is called Deep Work. It's a thick book, and it's long and kind of boring. I'll just be honest with you, but he talks about how your brain works when it focuses on one thing. And it says that you can get into deep work, into deep focus for about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Then the brain needs a break. Okay. Then you can go back into it and get into deep work again. So what I would do is I'd say, okay, I'm going to work 4 hours. And my goal at the time I was running in-home, my goal was to set 8 appointments for the next 2 days. Okay. So my goal for the first 4 hours were to set 4 appointments. one per hour, right? So for 2 hours, I would focus, and all I would do is dial. Okay. The first 2 hours, then I take a break for 10 hours or 10 minutes, not 10 hours. Then I take a break for 10 minutes. I'd walk outside, I'd walk around the block. I go talk to my wife. I get my mind clearly off of what I was doing. Think about something else. Okay. Give my mind a break. 10 minutes later, I'm back into it. I'm focused. I'm dialing. If you don't have a dialer, get one, because you can dial more leads that way. Phone burner's only about $100 a month. And if you can't afford $100 a month, well, you will once you start dialing that much, right? So get that. So here's the other thing. Here's the most important thing about scheduling. And then what we're going to do is get into role playing. When you set your schedule on Sunday, okay? And design your schedule around your life, and make your priority this business, right? Obviously your family's going to be there, but in order to achieve your goals, you have to work. You have to help families, right? So put the schedule in that you're definitely going to work Monday through Saturday. If you work Sunday, that's up to you. I don't, because that's me, right? If you want to work Sunday, that's up to you. But if you say that you're going to work from 8 o'clock until 1 o'clock, take off 2 hours, okay, and then come back at 3 o'clock and work till 7 o'clock. I'm just making up a schedule here. And then take off 10 minutes and then work till 9 o'clock. Put it on your calendar. We all have electronic calendars that we can use. Put it on your calendar. Set reminders, okay? Set trigger points that make you come up and say, okay, it's time to get to work, okay? And now here's the most important thing. Here's where everybody fails. Do what you say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do. It's so simple, but what's simple to do is also simple not to do, right? Let's say you've had a hard week. You're going Monday through Wednesday. You're new. You've talked to a lot of people. Nobody's picking up the phone. People are spitting on you through the phone. People are cussing you out. All of a sudden, Thursday rolls around and you decided, I'm going to work till 1 o'clock and come back at 3 o'clock. And your buddy calls you up and says at 3 o'clock, right when you get started, and you're thinking, man, I'm just having a tough week here. And it's 3 o'clock. Your buddy calls up and says, hey, let's go out to dinner tonight. And you're like, all right, let's go. You just failed yourself. But you didn't just fail yourself. You failed your family. And you failed your friends. And you failed your community. Okay. There's one common denominator in all four of those things, and that's you. Your community, your church depends on you, right? If you pay tithing, you got to make money to pay tithing, if that's important to you, right? And so by you not doing what you say you're going to do, also, you're letting down your family. Do your kids watch you? If you don't do what you say you're going to do your kids say, you know what? I'm going to do what dad's going to do or what mom's going to do. She said that she was going to take out the trash. She never did it. Or she did it late. She said she was going to help me with my homework. She hasn't helped me yet, right? That's all part of it, right? Obviously, things change, right? Emergencies happen. But unless you're bleeding or there's an emergency, do what you say you're going to do. Set your schedule and work your schedule. If you had a boss, I guarantee you'd be working their schedule. So guess what? You have to be that boss that you used to work for yourself. Because in this business, this is your business. And this business can pay you more than $20 an hour. I guarantee you that. And if you're willing to do that and work your boss's schedule for $20 an hour, $25 an hour, why not be willing to do it for this business, for your own business, for 20, 30, 40,000? Let me put it this way, 20 to 30, 40 families a month. Okay? Simple as that. So that's all I got for you on the training. Let's do some role play. Okay. So first off, what we're going to do, the way we're going to structure this, we're going to do this every Thursday, right? So we're going to do some role play, and what we'll do one role play. I'll do one role play to start it off, and then I'm going to pick somebody to be the client. And then again, after I'm done, that person that's the client is going to critique me. One good thing that I did and one good thing that I can improve on. Then we're going to switch it around, and that person that's the client, it now becomes the agent, and I will become the client, and then I will critique that person, letting them know what is good, what they did right, and then what they can improve on. So hi them. Can you hear me? Go ahead and unmute.
Yes.
Would you like to be the client?
Sure, yes.
Okay, all right. Can everybody hear hi them? Yeah, okay, perfect. So we like to start everybody off on final expense. So I'll start with a final expense call, and I'm going to do just like a one call close. And then hi them can critique me a little bit, and then we'll switch. So hi them, ring ring.
It's going to be tough to critique you.
I'm sorry?
It's going to be tough to critique you.
I can't hear you, hi them.
I said it's going to be tough to critique you because you're good at what you do.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not perfect, so don't worry about that.
All right.
Would you mind speaking into the microphone a little bit better so everybody could hear you?
Okay. No, sure.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see.
Also, the purpose, while you're doing that, the purpose of the critique is not only to critique somebody so that they know what they've done right and what they've done, what they can improve on, but also so that you're paying attention. Because we want you to pay attention and think about, okay, how can I improve? Even if you help the family, we want you to think about, okay, what could I have done to better that appointment? What could I have done to get a little bit more coverage? Okay. What could I have done to help that family understand the benefits a little bit better? Right? I want that to run in your mind every time you have an appointment after you're done. Analyze the appointment. That's how I got better. I didn't really, when I was going door to door, every time I got done, I had to analyze, okay, what did I say? Why did they say no? Why did they slam the door in my face? What can I do to intrigue them to help them not slam the door in my face? Or, you know, on the phone call, what can I do? If they answer the phone, we have about 15 to 20 seconds to grab their attention, right? And if we sound like a telemarketer who's all excited, we can't grab their attention, right? Me, I'm an excited person. I'm like naturally excited. And so I have to train my brain, okay, calm down. So now when I get on the phones, I flip. I'm a different person, okay? And I want to grab their attention. But I'm going to have to do that with just slow, methodical, boring stuff, right? Because telemarketers aren't boring, and we're not a telemarketer. So if we be boring, we're not a telemarketer. All right, Hytham, you ready?
Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. I'll speak louder.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hytham, this is Sean Simpson. I'm just giving you a call back here regarding that final expense and burial program form that you had sent into our office. Again, this is in regards to the final expense programs that are going on statewide right now. Can you grab a pen real quick? They just want me to go over the options with you. It shouldn't take too long. I don't have much time.
Yeah, sure. I got a pen.
Okay. By the way, everybody grab this form, get it out. We're going to practice every time. Grab one of these. Okay, perfect. In the meantime, what is a good email for you?
HELORR@yahoo.com.
Perfect, perfect. I'm going to send you over a link. And if you're new and you don't have a link, I'm going to send you over a copy of my license, a picture of me, and then my credentials as well. Okay. And
Okay.
usually what I do is I'll send over a picture of the carriers. Okay. And so hang on a second. Can you check your email real quick? I
Yes,
just sent that.
yes, I got it.
Okay. What do you see there?
I see your picture and I see your licenses in different states, and I also see your national producer number.
Okay.
And I also see the carriers that you work with.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. So that is my state license. On there is a license number or an NPN number. That's basically my social security number for my business. Basically says the state of Nebraska says I take care of my clients and make sure that they're doing all right. Okay. And then that photo there that you have with the carriers. So I'm partnered with about, 30 A-rated carriers nationwide. I'm probably one of the only agents in the state of Nebraska that has partnered with that many carriers. So what that allows me to do is shop around, customize something that best fits your situation, your needs, but most importantly, fits your budget. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this. You filled out this form, I'm assuming, because one of two reasons. You actually want to add on some coverage because you don't have enough, or I have some clients that don't have any coverage and they just want to put some stuff, some coverage in place. Which one of those were you thinking about today?
And to be honest with you, I don't remember I filled this out, so I'm not sure what you're looking at.
Oh, okay. Well, I have the mailer here with, it looks like a female's handwriting. I don't know, maybe it was your daughter. But again, usually people fill these out because they don't want to leave a financial burden if something were to happen to them. Does that sound like something that you would do?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So again, do you have coverage in place right now? Do you have any type of a life insurance product in place right now?
I do have one coverage. It's $20,000.
Okay. And is that through your work or is that private coverage?
No, I bought it a couple of years ago. My wife made me do it. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe she can get rid of me soon.
So I'm assuming that you filled out this form because you want to add coverage onto it then.
Yeah, I wanted to see what's out there, if there's anything to add or maybe something to replace what I currently have.
Okay. Okay. Something to replace it. Is it a little bit too much money for you?
Sometimes, yes. I'm paying like 150.
Okay.
Sometimes it is a little bit tight, how things are.
Yeah.
So if I can find something with same coverage, but I can save some money, I think that will help me out.
Okay. Okay. Now, is this a term policy or is it a whole life policy?
To be honest with you, I don't even know.
Oh, you don't. When did you take it out? Do you remember?
2 years ago.
About 2 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
What was the purpose that you took it out back then?
I guess my wife was scared if something was to happen to me and, they can't afford it or something like that. So she made me do it.
Okay. So your wife wanted you to take it out. She's not thinking about anything crazy, is she?
That's what I'm thinking. So I don't know, maybe.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Well, we'll do what we can here to shop around for you. I'm probably your best bet to work with here. Let me do this. As you probably already know, let me ask you this. Is your wife around right now?
No, she's at work.
Oh, she is, but I'm sure you can make a decision without her around, right?
Yeah, I still wear the pants around here.
Okay. And I'm sure, and if she has any questions, I'd be more than happy to call her back and I'll go over the policy with her. Okay. But we don't even know if you've been approved yet. So as you probably already know, these policies, you can't just go out and buy them. You have to be qualified for them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take about 5 minutes. I'm going to ask you some finance questions, some medical questions. And then from there, I'll have an idea of which carrier may qualify you. Then what we need to do is get you in front of the carrier. They have no idea who you are. Okay. So by doing that, what we're going to do is submit a simple request to the carrier. Okay. Now in that request, they're going to ask for a couple of pieces of information that, you know, by law, they kind of need to ask for. One of them is a social security number. They use that to verify who you say you are and that you're not taking out insurance in somebody else's name. And they also use that to make sure that if something does happen to you, that money goes to the right person. That's pretty important, right?
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that they're going to do is they're going to ask for a banking institution or a credit union to be on file, like an account number, routing number. If you are approved, okay, usually it takes about 2 to 7 days to find out if you're approved. If you are approved, then at that point in time, they're going to take a deposit. And then guess what? You're covered right away without having to pee in a cup, do a blood draw, or a medical exam. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Any questions on that so far?
No, so far so good.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you some questions here. Are you retired or are you working?
No, I'm currently working.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm an insurance agent.
Insurance agent. Awesome. Okay. And then I got you here at 56 years old. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. When's your birthday?
12/16/1973.
12/16/73.
Yep.
Sorry, I made you do a little math there.
Yeah, right.
And then what's your height and weight?
5'11" and 230.
5'11", 230. Okay. And then what's your monthly income, Hylam?
3,000.
About 3,000 a month. I'm assuming you're on a fixed income.
Sometimes, so yeah, depends on the month.
Okay. Are you a veteran?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay, no problem. And so is that just the work income? Do you have any other income coming in from that?
I have a little bit of side investment that makes me about $1,000 a month.
Okay, so total income is about 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and then your wife, you're married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what does she do for a living?
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse. Awesome. Okay, and then what's her monthly income?
Roughly around. I'm not exactly sure of the number, but maybe around $5,000 to $6,000.
5 to 6. Okay. We'll just say 5,500. Now, does she have a policy for herself?
Yes, she does.
She does. Okay. So you're just shopping around for you to
Yeah,
protect.
I'm just looking to see what's out there.
Yeah.
I may
What's her
get
name?
one just like she made me get one.
Okay. So what's her name?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. Okay. And so she'd be the one picking up the pieces for you if something were to happen to you.
Yes.
Okay. Monthly expenses. What are your monthly expenses?
Are you talking about everything like the house payment and?
Yeah. So house payment, car, gas, insurance for the car, food, utilities, date night. I mean, you got to have date night, right? If you were to add it all up, give me a rough estimate of what your monthly expense bill would be.
Roughly around 3,500.
About 3,500. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 3,500, and you make about 4,000. So that leaves you about $500. And then Jacqueline, she makes about 5,500. So if something were to happen to you, she would. And then what's the mortgage payment?
875.
875. Okay. And that's included in the 3,500, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so if something were to happen to you, she'd have to make the mortgage payment and pay all of the expenses without your income. That would be pretty devastating, huh?
Yeah, that'll be a lot on her because she has
Okay.
to take care of the kids too.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see what we can do here for you. Are you a smoker, non-smoker?
Non-smoker.
Okay. When did you quit?
Before I was born. Matter of
Awesome.
fact.
I love it. Love it. Okay. Have you had a heart attack, stroke, mini stroke, cancer?
No,
Okay. Any stents,
no,
diabetes?
nope. So far, so good.
All right. Any lupus, rheumatoid arthritis?
No.
Any neuropathy?
What's that?
Well, if you don't know what it is, you don't have it. That's for sure. It's pain in your extremities, like your feet and your hands.
Yeah, no.
Okay. And then high blood pressure. Do you have that?
No high blood pressure, no.
Okay. COPD,
No COPD,
asthma,
no asthma.
anxiety, depression, any liver or kidney disease?
No.
Okay. What medications are you taking right now that's been prescribed by a doctor?
I don't take any prescription drugs.
You're not taking any right now?
None.
Have you ever had any surgeries in the past 5 years?
No.
No? Okay. How about mom and dad? Are they still alive?
My dad passed away 5 years ago. My mom's
Oh,
still alive.
he did. What did he pass away from?
He had aneurysm.
He had an aneurysm. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay.
True story.
Wow. Sorry to hear that. Okay. Let me ask you this. Is there any 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, anything? Do you have a significant savings? Anything that acts as life insurance that would kick in if something were to happen to you?
No, not at all. Just only that policy I told you about.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me do this. It looks like out of all the carriers, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend a carrier called Americo. Okay. You ever heard of them?
No, I haven't.
They've been around for over 110 years. Yeah, they're a privately owned company based out of Kansas City. They have a 2-part application. What I'm going to do is ask you some questions, and then what I'm going to do is have you sign a HIPAA form. Okay. Do you know what a HIPAA form is?
I think I do, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the doctor, it basically says that me and America, we cannot share your information with anybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It also allows them to run a prescription check against the MIB. Okay.
Okay.
Then when that comes back, it'll say one of two things. It'll say decline. And if it says decline, no problem, Hytham. We're just going to pivot to another carrier. That's the good thing about working with me, is I have access to so many of them. If it says, the other thing it may say is continue asking questions. If it says that, at that point in time, you can either, well, the other thing it may say is continue asking questions. Okay. If it says that, then at that point in time, I'm going to fill out the rest of the application. I'll tell you about all of the benefits of the policy, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we'll just stop right there. Awesome. Awesome. So, Hytham, give me 2 things. What did I do right, and what can I improve on a little bit? I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What you did good is your tonality was steady. You didn't change. You didn't hesitate when I asked a question or anything that I said. And you kept talking and not let me talk too much, only ask me questions and get a response from me.
Okay. Awesome. What do you think I can improve on?
Everything.
Everything. Everything.
It's hard to critique you, because you are pretty good at what you do.
Okay.
So
Is there one thing that comes to mind?
Honestly, no, I can't. Just got to be honest with you, I can't.
That's okay. That's okay. No worries. Okay, let's flip the script here. Now you get to be the agent and I'll be the client.
Hey, Sean.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, Sean.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean. This is Haitham. I'm the manager here at Family First Life. I'm the underwriter that's been assigned to you for the life insurance final expense that you had requested some information about. I do have your date of birth here as of 12/16/1973. Is that correct?
Yeah. How'd you get my information?
Well, this had came to me, and I wanted to know if any of my guys had reached out to you. Has any of my guys reached out to you?
No, not yet.
Okay, and that's the reason why it came to me, because this has been sitting for a while and somebody must have dropped the ball, and I'm here to try to help you with what you were looking for. So this is basically about the life insurance final expense to help take care of the burial and the funeral or cremation, in case of when you die.
Okay.
And not leave any burden behind on the family or your loved ones. Do you remember filling this out?
I don't remember filling it out, but my wife might have.
Okay, that's good. That's okay, because I don't remember what I had for dinner last night.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. And I just wanted to ask you, what made you wanting to look into getting this type of policy?
Well, my wife and I were talking and she mentioned that we don't have any life insurance, so she thought it'd be a good idea. She didn't want to have that she didn't want to have to come out of pocket and come out of our savings if something were to happen to us.
Right, yeah, and that makes sense, because funerals and burials, they do cost quite a bit of money that can take away from your family's savings or anything like that.
Yeah.
And let me ask you, Sean, have you ever had life insurance before?
Nope.
No. Have you ever applied for life insurance?
Nope.
Okay. So the process here is very easy. I'm going to ask you a few questions, some medical questions, and I'm going to ask you some financial questions just to get to know you. And this, based on how you answer those questions, is going to give me a better idea of which carriers might approve you. And then from there, I'm going to ask you, we'll get some pricing and see what kind of coverage that you're looking for, how much coverage you're looking for. And if we find coverage that best fits your budget and you're comfortable with, the next step is to put you in front of the carrier, because they don't know who you are. So when we do that, they're gonna ask for two pieces of ID. They're gonna ask for your Social Security so they can check the prescription background from the MIB, and that's not Men in Black. That's Medical Information Bureau.
Okay.
And the second piece of ID they're gonna ask for is your banking route number, so they can have it on record. So when you do get approved, that's how they're gonna withdraw your payment. Does that sound good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna dive right into it. I don't have a fancy presentation for you. So I'm gonna dive right into it. Sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right. Sean, are you a smoker?
No.
Okay, good for you. When did you quit?
About 2009.
Okay, so that's about 14 years ago.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
And what's your height and weight?
I'm 5'9", 320 pounds.
All right. One too many burgers?
Yeah, my last name is Simpson. People call me Homer.
All right.
Too many donuts too.
Have you ever had heart attack, stroke, or mini stroke?
No, I haven't.
All right. And have you had cancer?
No.
And what about stents?
No.
Diabetes?
No.
Neuropathy?
No.
And what about high blood pressure?
I do have high blood pressure.
You do? Okay. And what kind of medication do you take for that?
Lisinopril.
All right. Anything else you take for it?
Yeah, I'm on Losartan.
The Sartan too?
Yeah.
That's for high blood pressure as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other medication for the high blood pressure?
No, not for high blood pressure.
All right, and what about lupus and RA?
What's RA?
That's a good question. Let me Google it right quick.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Honestly, I looked it up, I Googled it. It's
Rheumatoid
I
arthritis.
have rheumatoid arthritis. I have it here. Okay, and you don't have any of that? Okay. What about asthma and COPD?
Good job, Highland. What's that?
Asthma and COPD.
I have COPD.
You do? Okay, and what medication do you take for that?
I don't take any medications for it. I
You
just
don't?
breathe hard.
Okay. Helps your lung to exercise. What about your thyroid?
Nope, no thyroid issues.
No thyroid. What about anxiety or depression?
Nope. I mean, I get depressed sometimes, but I think everybody does.
Yeah, that's for sure. I get depressed from work sometimes. And what about kidney or liver disease?
Nope.
Have you ever had COVID?
No.
No? Okay. Well, lucky you. Any other medications that you take or you have taken before?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
I've been taking these for about, 8 years. So
8 years? Okay. You sound pretty healthy to me, so that's a good thing. I'm going to ask you some financial questions just to understand exactly how your financial situation is. Because the last thing we want to do is try to put you on a plan and it becomes a burden on you and not be able to pay it.
okay.
Sounds fair?
Yes.
All right. And do you currently rent or own your home?
I rent.
You rent? Okay. And roughly, what is your monthly overhead, between your rent and if you have a car payment, your utilities, spending money, food, all that? Well, how much would you estimate about every month?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
For your monthly bills, between your rent, utilities, if you have a car payment, car insurance, your phone,
Like my expenses?
yeah, all your expenses together, how much do you think all your expenses will come out to every month?
About 10,000.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what is your income, monthly income?
About 15,000.
Okay. And are you married?
I am.
Does your wife work?
No, she doesn't.
Okay. So you're the household earner.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any 401k, IRA, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, or significant savings?
I do not.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here, Sean, I got to put this together and put you in front of the carrier. So I'm going to ask you some questions. And based on how you answer those, it's going to come back either one of two ways. Either it's going to give me a red signal and not continue, but that's okay. We can pivot to a different company because like I mentioned earlier, I'm appointed by many different carriers, so I have the ability to see other carriers that can provide that plan for you. And if the other thing is if it comes as a green light, which is going to be a good thing because that means it's allowing me to continue forward. And then from there, I'm going to ask you some health questions to get those, continue with the application and keep moving forward. Does that sound about good to you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Is that it?
That's it. Fantastic.
Perfect.
So awesome. Everybody
Okay.
give Hylam a little clap there. Good job, Hylam. So one thing that you did right, I mean, I think you did a fantastic job by just kind of bullnosing through it. I know you're kind of new at this. You haven't gone through many presentations. But I think more practicing will help you. Going through the process, getting through 100 presentations is going to help smooth out your process a little bit more. One of the things that I need to make sure that you do is the thing that you need to improve on is credibility, right? Because you're calling over the phone. This was a telesales appointment, right? So a lot of times if they don't know who you are, sometimes by talking to them, building the rapport like you did, which was fantastic, you did a great job. Sometimes that's enough credibility for some people, but the majority of the people, they need to see something with their own eyes, right? And so by giving them a face and giving them your license, and possibly a sheet of the carriers, like just emailing that over to them, that's going to help build more credibility. When I didn't have a link, I would also put a picture of me in there, and it didn't even have to be a professional picture. It could have been like a picture of my family, right? But this way they can see me, right? They can put a face to the name, the bald guy, right? They know the bald guy, and they can call me Homer. I make fun of I do something to get them to remember who I am, right? And so by doing that, that's also going to build credibility. And when you have your license and your email, that's also going to help them understand that, yeah, he is licensed. He's not just some scammer that's going to ask for my social security number or my bank account information. Okay. So big key there, work on credibility. But other than that, for not having too many presentations, just starting off, you did a fantastic job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this went longer than I expected. So we're going to continue this on next Thursday, same time, same place. Okay, we're going to do this every Thursday. The next Thursday, come by. If you guys want to do a role play, when it's time to do role play, just raise your hand. I'll pick two of you. One of you guys be the agent, one of you guys be the client. Then we'll switch. And if we have enough time to do two of them, then we'll do two of them. Okay. But other than that, we're all finished up, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening.